today we're here and we're doing an experiment with Peeps. And so I have gathered 3 different kinds of liquids, and I would like to see what is going to happen to the Peeps when you add water, vinegar, and 7-Up. So I'm going to put the Peeps in each of these. What I'd like you to do is I'd like you to get a piece of paper, and I'd like you to write down, make a prediction. Write down what you think is going to happen to these Peeps when I do this, okay? So before you watch the rest of this video, make sure you get a piece of paper and a pencil, and if you can, write down what you think. If you don't know how to write, then you could draw a picture of what you think is going to happen, all right? So we're gonna put a Peep in each of these cups. Let me turn the cups around, okay? Really, the labels on them are really for me, so I don't forget which one is which. You can also do this experiment at home in your own kitchen if you have some Peeps, which you can really get those right now. Okay, so we're gonna start with water. What do you think is gonna happen to the Peeps when we add the water? Nothing really. Just kind of floats. The pink sugar sinks down to the bottom of the cup. Okay? All right. Let's do the 7-Up next. All right? What do you think is going to happen when I add 7-Up to this Peep? A little bit of the same. Floats. Sugar goes down to the bottom. Okay. The last one we're going to do is we're going to put some vinegar. Some vinegar on this Peep. What do you think is going to happen? Write down your prediction. Okay, pretty much the same thing, just in this moment. Here's the deal. We're gonna wait for 2 days, and we're gonna see what these look like after 2 days. So I'll see you back here in 2 days. Hi, we're back 2 days later with our Peeps that we put into water, vinegar, and 7-Up soda. And so I'd like us to take a look at the different Peeps today, and you'll notice that on the water one, the water is just a little bit pinker. There, noticeably, it's not that much different, but the water is just a little bit pinker. The vinegar one, if you look at it, it's not that much different either. It has some foamy bubbles around the Peep itself. It looks like it might be not quite as intact as probably these other ones are going to be. The soda, the one in the 7-Up, it also looks like it looks pretty much like it did when we put it in there also. So I think what I'd like us to do is I'd now like us to take them out of the glasses and put them onto the plate and see, and kind of squish them around with a fork and see what happens when we squish them around. So I'm going to take the water one out first. Maybe. One thing that I noticed first off is that the eyes have fallen off. Does not have any eyes anymore. Okay, so I'm going to squish it with this fork. It's been laying, I turned the part that had been down into the water. And so when I squish it, the part that was in the water, it still holds its form. But if I were to squish it into little tiny pieces, it would kind of break up. Okay, all right, so that's the water one. Wipe off my fork here. Okay, let's take the one that was in the vinegar out and see what happens. I might need a spoon for this one. Okay, the eyes were facing up. Oop, he lost part of his ear in there. But when I squish this one down, let me turn it over, you see that the just foam comes out. I think that's the sugar that is just kind of disintegrating from, I think if I had maybe turned this over like halfway through, maybe yesterday, it would have the same thing. It would have just been a foamy, hot mess. Yeah. Okay, and here's the one from the 7-Up. I hope you're remembering you wrote down your predictions on what we did here. Let me turn this one over. Oh, this one didn't lose its eyes. This one did a lot the same thing. We're not having the foamy come out like we did on the vinegar, but it did pretty much the same thing that the one that was in the water. Yeah. So I wonder what would happen if we put this back into the liquid and just let it go in there for another day, but turn it over onto the other side. That would be very interesting. So now that we've done this experiment, write down the conclusion, draw some pictures if you don't know how to write, and email me your conclusions. I'd love to see what you found out about vinegar, soda, and water for your Peeps. Okay. Okay. I don't have the coronavirus. Okay. Okay. Today we are doing an experiment with Peeps. Peeps. So we're gonna do some pink bunnies.